Fields going to throw right away. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
After the sack on first down, Fields finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on fourth down. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 11. A great return there of 22 yards. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll get this up to about the 40. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7. Leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll keep it on the ground. Alexander. And some room to roam now. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Alexander, and they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And not much running room. Down to the 32. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. These two teams, you may remember, they met in Minnesota earlier in the year with the Vikings coming out victorious. So they're looking for this series sweep here in Chicago. Rush coming, and he's taken down. John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop it. The number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line, and these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive, as this is 3rd and 10. looking to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Blowing that play up for Roquan Smith as he gets the sack. Now make that a second sack here in their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
But they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down. And this is a commentary on today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on them, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. To Montgomery to begin the drive.
3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The Bears at 3-5, 2 games under 500. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here's Fields.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
From the gun, here's Fields.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first.
So after drive number 3 here, we have a score, and it's 3 points after the field goal.
I would say the feeling out process for both these teams, I'd say it's over, partner. Everyone understands what's going on now. You've kind of probed a little bit. Now you want to start throwing the big shots. First 3 points up on the board could be significant.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They run the counter. Alexander. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Alexander. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
The play fake. He'll look to throw. Steps away, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the side.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 18.
So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards.
And the Bears take over. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
At about the 32.
He'll begin by dropping it off to Montgomery.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Out of the gun, Fields.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Sitting at 1st place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll try the left side. Alexander. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Slot man moves right. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's Ryan Wright now.
as he'll kick it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is brought in at the 21.
A very good punt, but a 16-yard return.
And out will come the offense as they take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive.
Well, they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Second down and 7. Now it's Fields.
He finds his man, complete. That's Peters. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Fields. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. From the 50, here's Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And maybe time for this offense to really hit the reset button. They were shut out in the first half, but still, they're right in this game.
They certainly are. What I like about it is that you actually continue to play. You know, you just find a way to make a few plays yourself, and you noted it. Right there on the border in this game, they're not that far off. Just got to find a play or two, and they could be very happy at that point.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And they'll send the slot in motion left. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. On 1st down, it's Alexander, and he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
Got a man. That's Colin Johnson.
He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. On play action, they'll throw. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Jaquan Brisker, and the Bears will take over possession here up at the 44.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging because after all their halftime talk, adjustments and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
Fields on 1st down.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
To throw is Fields.
Pressure comes and down he goes.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
Might have needed just one more block as it stands. 37-yard return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
On 2nd down, it's Alexander. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
65 yards on the ground for him so far.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
On 3rd down, Alexander, and he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and 1, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
On 2nd down now, it's Alexander, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. They're going to look to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Try it here. He's back to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Bears will get the football back.
No surprise. They try to throw the ball on 4th down, but it gets batted down. They don't pick it up.
Well, a little football 101. When you're going toward that quarterback, you see he's going to start to throw. Get your hands up,
Get your hands up, affect the play, and then everyone get your hands up. When the ball gets to the receiver, a moment of truth, knock it away.
On 1st down, it's Fields.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
And they run the option on 2nd down.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on 3rd.
Fields now to throw.
And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
I'll tell you what, it's kind of hard to imagine. They have not scored a single point, and yet they're in this position, a touchdown drive here, and they're in the lead.
Normally, when you have 0 on your side of the ledger on the scoreboard, you're a little bit discouraged. But when they look over and see their opponents, they don't see a number that's way out there. They don't see a number they can't attain. In fact, they can get it right here on this drive and potentially take the lead.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to look deep down the field. He's got a man, complete.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And from where we sit, if you had told me that that ball was somehow going to get from point A to point B, I would have told you no way. I mean, that was an absolute cannon shot, and he still dropped it right on the money, too.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Avoids him at the 5. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
And they'll run again.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there.
His 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from going back on top here in the 4th.
A very important extra point there, up and good, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Fields. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Throwing on 3rd down. Fields. And that will be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. On 2nd down, it's Alexander, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got a man complete. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Up the middle they go. Alexander. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Alexander. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Back-to-back 2-yard losses, and that sets up a tough 3rd and 14.
They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
On 3rd down, Alexander. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
McCann's kick up and good.
And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now Fields.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
All eyes on Fields.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Fourth down, Fields has to have this one.
And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Alexander. He tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So for the Vikings, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Bears, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week.
Why would I ever have to cop a chain again when the QB chain burst the chains in the game? No post office, we stamping time. Took a slice out of the big apple, made apple pies, family size. Leather bombers and Nike Sacai's, dangerous corners, you better pray that tomorrow arrives. Rap Sugar Ray Robinson, nothing sweet. Y'all too out of shape to even box with me. Heavyweight, I know my way around the ring. Just like Shorty know her way around the storm. Making hits with Hit Boy, all he gotta do is hit record. Record-breaking news, had to show up just to fill a void. Confused, spoiled little boys, y'all better keep your poise. Leave me out of the weasel. Be cool when you see me, I'm hot at all that rap deep. The hood know you, so we don't borrow, believe in it. Locked in on the instrumental, I took back the key to this. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. What I'm saying, your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black. What I'm saying.